We finally know why one of the most requested suits is not in the game, thanks to a spoiler caused by Kinda Funny with the creative director over at Insomniac Games. We got some more news about the DLC and the new suits we will likely see in that City Never Sleeps DLC. And we also take a look at an Easter egg found in the game regarding the Raimi suit and more. There will be no story spoilers for Marvel Spider-Man in this video, but we will talk about the potential plot for the potential second game, and we already knew this big villain would not be in the game anyway. Still wanted to give you, of course, the spoiler warning. But yeah, let's get into it. If you enjoyed that, then a like would be super appreciated. And let's go. We already knew before the launch that Venom would not be in the game. So yes, one of the big suits that is missing is of course the symbiote suit. So yes, the black suit that everyone wants. During the Kinda Funny spoiler cast, Greg Miller asked the creative director Brian Intar why this was. And he gave an honest response, saying that it deserves its own spot in the spotlight and that just making it an unlockable suit would not do it justice. He then continues.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best stories for Spider-Man.
Sure.
And I think that it's a complex story. I think that that story needs to be told in the way that Insomniac would tell it.
Hell yeah.
So yes, you could say Marvel Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man PS5 is confirmed at this point, and I'm by the way happy with their decision on the symbiote suit. They could of course do way more stuff with that suit, like add completely new powers or awesome story moments and just way more. The promise of this story for a second game is also of course exciting. Like why throw everything in the first game when you can also like flesh out other parts of the Spider-Man universe in different games. Later on in the spoiler cast, Brian continues saying that there is a plan like for their version of Spider-Man, like for their games. So likely meaning like beyond the 3 DLC packs that will launch this year.
There's a plan. I mean,
Of course.
Yeah, there's a plan. I don't think that I think there's many different ways we can go.
And I like hearing this, like knowing that God of War will very likely get a sequel, and New Horizon Zero Dawn is totally coming. Like PlayStation is laying down an amazing foundation here for the next console, with Spider-Man 2 likely being part of that sort of launch window as well. Like just wanted to throw that out there because I've been thinking about this lately and it's pretty amazing thinking about the future of the PlayStation in terms of exclusives. Going back to the PS4 game we have now, like don't put any story spoilers please in the comments of this video, but of course just to be sure, don't check the comments of this video when you haven't finished the game yet. Anyway, it looks like there will likely be a new game from Insomniac, a new Spider-Man game, and that will likely tell the symbiote story the Insomniac way. And this also means that we should not get our hopes up for a symbiote suit in the DLC. Instead, we will very likely see 2 other suits if the tease from Brian is to be believed. So during the spoiler cast, they talked about the fact that it was hard to pick what suits would be in the game. And then Greg Miller talks about some suits that he would like to see, like a Bagman that you see right here, where he got the Fantastic Four suit and a bag over his head. So yes, this would be cool if this was added to the game. And Brian says that this might change soon, implying that we will very likely see the suit in one of the 3 DLC expansions.
I also love, and I know it's a million problems, but Bagman, where he's got the bag over his head in the Fantastic Four suit.
Well, maybe that'll change soon.
No!
Who knows? I mean, well, the Fox,
Every one of
the
the
Fox Disney thing went through, right?
Yeah, it's in final parts of the shareholder agreements and whatnot,
Yeah, they're
right?
still working through some stuff
so
because of the
hopefully,
sports
you never know,
networks.
Bagman and Future Foundation
Okay,
might have it.
Yeah,
Man.
So yes, Brian also throws the Future Foundation suit in there, implying that that will be added as well. So we will likely see 3 suits per expansion. We already know that the first one, the Heist with the Black Cat, that launches on October 23rd, will feature 3 suits, and the others will at least have 2, but I of course hope 3 for every expansion. Well, anyway, it looks like Bagman and the Future Foundation suit will likely be part of any of the chapters. In the spoiler cast, they also continue about the City That Never Sleeps DLC. While Brian cannot say like a lot, we do learn some more info. Brian says that we should not expect like 12 hours of new content from one chapter, and that is not really weird because they're like $10 a piece, but that it will be long enough to engage you again in the world and tell you a cool story. And that will be the focus of these expansions, the main story, but Brian says that there will also be new small side things that we can expect as well, so that is good to hear. I mean, I expect 2 to 3 hours in terms of main story content and then a ton of side content. I mean, we know there will be a new faction, for example, in the Heist DLC, so maybe some bases with that as well. And some new challenges or stuff like that. I, for one, can't wait for the DLC, and I want to make a video about the first DLC. I don't want to give too much away just yet, but keep an eye out for that on the channel. Since we talked about the black suit, I wanted to throw this interesting Easter egg that people found in the game into the mix. So Not a Muggle reached out to me on Twitter. My Twitter is, by the way, @JorRaptor. Totally follow me there if you haven't already. With 2 dolls from Spider-Man in what looks like the 2 big suits that are missing from the game. Namely the Raimi suit and the symbiote suit. And yes, if we like crawl up to the window, look closely with the photo mode, we do indeed see that they look a lot like those suits. You can, by the way, check it out over here on the map, thanks to Nicholas Palm, who shared a tweet with the location to me, but there should be like more of these windows all across the map. So yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Like, are they teasing us? I mean, we now know why the symbiote suit is not in the game, and I totally like agree with their decision, but the Raimi suit, come on guys, I really hope we will see that as DLC. Of course, we end these Spider-Man videos with some cool pictures that you send me. I received a ton via my Twitter @JorRaptor, and I will now ask you to use the hashtag SpiderRaptor in order to get these screenshots in one of the videos, because then it will be easier for me to track. So thanks in advance for that. You can also send pictures to me on Instagram, JorRaptor, as well. And of course, follow me while you are there. Let's start with this picture from Wyatt with the Spirit Spider suit, and I think one of the suit powers that creates this electric effect, but just an awesome background as well. I really dig the tone. I love this one too, with Peter helping MJ taking out the demons, while Demon is like, what the heck is going on? Where does this guy come from? Nice timing, Albert. I find it hard to get my pictures like this sharp as the one from Damien, and I hope I pronounced it right, but he did it with a wet Scarlet Spider suit at night in the selfie mode. I really like this picture. The MJ and Peter scenes are the best in this game in my opinion, so seeing her smile while in the arms of Spider-Man looks just really cool. This picture again comes down to great timing and also cool use of the stickers, so great job, Elliot. Speaking of timing, White got a picture with Spider-Man holding one of the many birds you can collect in the game. Like, I don't think I saw Spider-Man like hold a bird like that. I just quickly continued with the game after I got the bird. But yes, this is what it looks like. So great shot. Subscribe for everything Spider-Man PS4. I got a ton of tips and tricks up on the channel, and I will of course keep you up to date on everything that is going on in the game. So subscribe to miss nothing if you haven't already. Like this video to support channel if you really like my content. You can also click the join button and support me for a small fee. Get some awesome perks as well. Check out my recent Spider-Man video on the best gadgets in the game, and I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.